Welcome everyone to the Hot Take Time Capsule. Our goal today is to spew hot takes for a solid hour. Then, 1 year from now, crack open the Hot Take Time Capsule and see how well or poorly those hot takes have aged. Gotta set up some ground rules. At any point, you can interrupt someone or the segment or the round and just say, let me get one off my chest. So you can interject any hot take you want at any point throughout the next hour, and that's allowed. You can also add on to anyone else's hot take if you want to add on to it, but you have to be fast. You know what I mean? You got to zip it in there. If you interrupt me, if you want to add, it's too late. I have to say you're too late to add on to that one. This is really important. At the end of this program, at the end of the stream, the live audience will vote on who they believe is the sommelier, meaning they think that person's hot takes will age the best in 1 year, and who is the milkmaid, the person who they think their takes will age the worst in 1 year. We all good?
Gotcha.
That's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm Leo Vader, by the way. Just want to introduce myself for the YouTube VOD.
Does anyone else want to introduce themselves? I'm so sorry.
I guess I'm Jeff Marchiafava as well. I'm here.
I gotta get one off my chest. I'm Jen Garcia.
Ooh, that was good. That was a good take.
That is good.
Hot take, but we'll allow it. This is New Show Plus. It's voted on by our Backstage Pass patrons every single week. Streamed live on Twitch on Tuesday. Goes up on YouTube on Wednesday. This week it was all Kyle Bosman ideas because it's your last week as our guest cohort. It's been so lovely to have you. Been so fun to work with you. And
Heck yeah.
We've in this way we've hopefully honored you with this New Show Plus. I'm very excited to get started. And I watched a lot of like political videos, like reacting to people on the other side of the political aisle to kind of get me mad in like a worked up headspace to generate these hot takes.
Okay.
Now, before we get started, I have seen a comment in chat that is giving me pause. Somebody said milkmaid might be problematic. I thought a milkmaid just delivers milk. Am I wrong on this?
That's what I've assumed.
What is problematic about milkmaids? It's a woman or girl who works with milk. A
You're
dairy
someone who
woman.
milks cows. I don't think they deliver the milk also, but they prepare milk.
They milk them.
Yeah, this is to be clear, this is a genderless milkmaid. Just to be specific. Anyone could be a milkmaid in this scenario.
Yeah,
it's not
dairy
specific
woman doesn't sound better.
Yeah. Milk folk, yeah.
I gotta get one off my chest. Milkmaid is fine. Let's go with it.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Wow. You know what? I
All
second
right,
that. I second that.
I did
There
not
we go.
say that one.
Oh man.
All right, round one is called basic drama. Round one, basic drama. These are like broad categories, you know what I mean? Discussions that have happened many times, but we're gonna see your take on it now. Stamp yourself here on this date in late July, and let's see if your take ages well. Who wants to go first?
I'll do it.
Okay, pick A, B, C, or D.
C.
Okay, Leo. Is Sony making enough PlayStation 5 games?
Well, it's hard to have a hot take about that unless it is a hot take to say they are, of course, not. But I feel like that's almost the consensus.
I agree with that. But I also agree
Are
that
you
a hot
overthinking
take,
this?
it's just like, I feel like it's more you have like a firm opinion on something that is inherently debatable with a layer of charge. I don't think it necessarily needs to be unpopular.
Yeah.
That's my hot take.
If you said they're making enough, that would also be unpopular. I just need your opinion.
Totally. No, we're still warming up, getting rolling here. Definitely none of the hot takes should start with I feel like. I was off base on that. That's already pouring cold water on the take.
And Kyle, are we answering these as if it is a year from now?
No. For round one basic drama, just give me
right now.
Your current day impression. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, and
gotcha.
no. This question is just for Leo. Unless you
you
want to steal it. Unless you want to lick one off your chest.
Here's the thing. Sony is making enough PlayStation 5 games because when they do make one that I want to play, that's a bad news for me. I'm playing Death Stranding now, and I can't play it on Steam Deck in bed. And I'm supposed to buy a PlayStation Portal to remedy that. But instead, I have to actually leave the bedroom where my wife and I are supposed to be spending quality time together next to each other doing different things and be on my own couch elsewhere. It's literally tearing my family apart. I think if they put out no more PS5 exclusives, my marriage would heal.
Can I get one off my chest?
Oh yeah.
Sony is making too many games nowadays, but they're all versions of The Last of Us, which we've already played 10 times. They gotta stop.
Let me get one off my chest. I'd rather play Last of Us 10 times than most of these other games. I think we need to be so for real about it. Last of Us gets dragged, but the formula of it is memed that you have you're sitting to play a PlayStation game, you get the popcorn bucket out, but it also works. It's a formula that works again and again in a lot of different contexts. I think they have really mastered the cinematic campaign in a way that
they've mastered the remasters, making just endless remasters of Last of Us 2, which we don't need at this point.
And wouldn't you say it works less and less each time?
I don't know. I'm not buying them, to be honest, because how many times do I have to own these games?
Who's ready to go next?
Please.
Okay. A, B, or D is your choices here.
B.
Okay.
Please.
Jeff, how do you feel about the current direction Xbox is heading in?
Well, the current direction is straight into the shitter, so I guess I'm ambivalent about it. It seems like where they belong at this point.
Oh, okay. Explain that. What do you mean that's where they belong?
I mean they're firing and closing all the different studios that they bought. They bought all these studios, and everyone was like, "Oh, great! Like this studio deserves a chance, and they deserve to be, to have $1 billion budget for their next game." And they didn't, and they still put out good games, and then they get closed anyway. So where do they expect to be taking the industry at this point?
What about Activision? They love Activision.
Why would you buy Activision in the first place? Come on, Kyle. They're using Activision as the excuse of closing down all these other. We can't get another Hi-Fi Rush because they got to double down on Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't you think that's just smart? Don't you think that's just a smart way to run a business?
That's a smart way to make people not want their Xboxes anymore. I'm going to light it on fire out in the backyard.
That's a good hot take.
Wow.
Janet, we're left with A and D. Which one you want?
I'll take A.
Okay. Does the Switch 2 have gas?
Oh, man.
And not game as a service. Does it have
gosh.
gas? Does it have fuel?
Oh, man. This is I'm really getting set up here because a year from now, I don't know how this goes, if I'm going to be this smart or not.
That's the
I
time
would say
capsule.
I would say at this exact moment in time, no. I think what the Switch 2 is really struggling with is having hardware identity. I think it's the first Nintendo console to not really feel specific in its hardware identity. And obviously, there's ways to be in a hardware identity that are negative, right? We saw that with the Wii U, even though I'm not here to drag the Wii U. The Wii U got dragged enough. I'm a Wii U apologist, had a Wii U, tried to sell it myself. It didn't work. I'm like, Nintendo, I get why you had a hard time with this. I didn't get any of my friends to buy this console, but I had a great time on that. But the Switch 2 just feels so iterative that I do think it's kind of lost its identity a bit, which makes me say that it doesn't have gas. I do think there is potential in the Switch 2, and I'm willing for this take to age badly as a result. But at this exact time, I cannot confidently say, oh yeah, this is like a fire console. Even though, yeah, Metroid Prime 4 could swoop in and kind of really start to, I think, get the ball rolling in that. But I feel like me saying the Switch 2 has gas is would be taking the easy way out. It's easy to bet on Nintendo because time and time again, they've risen to the occasion. But it's not about where you could go. It's about where you are now because you're asking me this question now. So that's my answer.
Let me get one up my chest.
Okay.
A Wii U failure for Nintendo could never happen again. It does not matter what the Switch 2 is. Nintendo will now always have enough gas so long as there is social media to share the cute characters that they have in their games. To remind people that Nintendo is the place to get a game console where you just play the cute games. And that's fine. You don't have to be a serious gamer. You don't have to be into shooters or sports.
Let me get one off my chest. I feel like what Janet was trying to say is the Wii U has a stronger vibe than the Switch 2 has. The Wii U has a personality, and the Switch 2 is just borrowing its daddy's personality.
Yeah,
basically. The Nepo baby of consoles, if you will.
It's a Nepo baby.
Riding the Switch 1's success.
There we go.
Nepo babies.
It's riding the Switch 1's success design-wise. And yeah, no, and it does. And I think it will work because they're like, run it back. But at the same time, you know, I step up to I have all my consoles displayed out on my IKEA Calyx shelf, the only, you know, furniture anyone games media can afford. So I have 6 of them lined up together to try to make a home. And, you know, I see my Steam Deck, I see my Switch 2. As someone that's fighting for reasons to play the Switch 2, I have felt a bit challenged in this exact moment in time. I think that will run out. I think that's just the growing pains of, you know, launching a console and getting your footing. But I have found myself really having to seek out experiences at this exact moment for Switch 2.
Let me get one off my chest. I can't find my Switch 2. I was playing it Donkey Kong on it, and a couple days ago, I just didn't know where it went. I still haven't found it.
Let me get one off my chest. Find your Switch 2. What do you mean you can't? What do you mean you can't find? You just said, okay, I give up looking for it.
Well, yeah, you know, it's like I would really look for it if I really wanted it. I'm kind of just I haven't seen it in my periphery as I go about my day yet.
It's not good enough to look beyond your immediate vicinity.
You're ghosting. You're ghosting your Switch 2. You're like, you know, she didn't text me. I don't really care that she didn't. I'm just gonna kind of walk away.
Which is Donkey Kong coming up, or do I need to get that off my chest now?
It's not. I don't have anything in particular for Donkey Kong.
Okay, then I'll get one off my chest about Donkey Kong. I think that's further proof that the game is dangling keys in front of a baby. That when they're out of my presence, I'm not thinking about it. It's fun to do, and then when it's gone from my sight, I don't got object permanence about Donkey Kong.
That's a great way to put it. I'm doubling down on that take as well.
Oh boy.
That is the actual worst take.
Bosman is processing.
I'm trying. Let me get one off my chest.
The beach area seems like it might be fun. I was seeing my fiance play that before he rage quit out of the game last night.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is game design incarnate. It's a game that you play. It's one of the smartest games I've ever played. Just because it doesn't have like Citizen Sleeper systems and mechanics, just because it's actually fun to play. It's not an intelligent game. It's just dangling keys. No. You engage with this game. This game engages with you. This game's a handshake. This game's it's a trampoline for you to jump upon.
You're getting so emotional right now, and it's invalidating.
I do think that you're right. That trampoline area was fun, like the ice trampoline. Why does ice bounce? I'm not going to ask about it. Whatever. It was a good time. I enjoyed playing on it. I think my beef with Donkey Kong Bonanza is I can't remember almost anything specific about that game. I feel like that game, it's like getting blackout drunk and trying to wake up the next day and explain where I was. Sub-Layers 62, where is that? You know, we talk about good 3D platformers as needing to create a space and time, and Donkey Kong, despite being very technologically proficient, having some really incredible ideas baked in slots, when I try to absorb where I am, I can't. Go to the Eggshell Hotel, couldn't tell you where that was. Hard to navigate. It's not that memorable, and I think that's the big hotel.
Let me get one off my chest. It's the big hotel shaped like an egg.
Yeah, but you can't see it from where you are. There's not an idea of a visual through line. You're just kind of spinning around.
It's a big green egg. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's huge.
I wouldn't know where that was unless they had told me where it was. You
this
can't
month
orient
was
yourself in this
going
in this
so
space.
good, and now Bosman's never coming back. And
I got to reveal, I'm also a contestant. I'm also eligible for Milkmaid and Sommelier. I also have to be responsible for these questions. So I have to do one of the remaining round one question, which is there an underserved market for portable PCs and consoles? No. Nope. No, it's a small market. Portable PCs are a small market. I don't see the Xbox ROG Ally doing well. Not even like pretty good. I see it being a disappointment. I see the portable PlayStation 5 being a disappointment if such a thing is to exist. I can't even see like a Steam Deck 2 happening within the next 12 months and that being a moderate success. I think there's a lot of people who really like those things. And that's it. It is just that lot of people, and they're just upgrading and upgrading, but I don't see it as a large market.
I don't want to believe that's true, because I want to keep being served like I'm the most specialist boy in the world.
Well, that's the thing. You're just going to buy like a new one, right?
Can I get something off my chest? It's like sort of tangential to the PC handheld thing. I miss, and this can make me sound a million years old. I get this. It turns out when you age, you actually do age, and you do get kind of old. I miss when handhelds were handhelds. I miss being able to comfortably hold these handhelds. They're like £1 million. They last 90 minutes. I want to be able to have like an experience that I can put in a purse that isn't a duffel bag. You take your Steam Deck outside, it's like it comes with its own carry-on suitcase. Like, it's just such a pain to bring around. And I think it's worth it to a degree to like get that PC experience in, a more convenient, cozy kind of console-y context. But ultimately, like, I miss when we could just have like it be dedicated and different and kind of be, I don't know, chasing like almost like a future vibe to it. Maybe we just can't have that because we've made so many technological advancements that's no longer exciting to have stuff like, when the PSP came out and I'm like, oh my God, I can put like 6 songs on here. I get that's not going to get the asses in the seats anymore. But I think there's also a market to like go back into a more retro feel. I played my GBA the other day, and this may sound sad, but I was excited that like I couldn't even see the time on that thing. It was just me and the games.
That's a take.
I miss that. We need to bring that back. And I know the Playdate tried, but the lack of backlight really, really, really makes it hard for me to want to play it. And also, the form factor is also very tight. It's a square. It's a little sharp to hold. But the Playdate, shot for trying and kind of doing something different. I want to rock with the Playdate more, but that's kind of what keeps me back from enjoying it more than I wanted to.
Round 2 is called Everybody's In. All right? In this case, it's one question everybody here has to answer. Now, if somebody took your answer, if you actually can't think of another one, you can hop on their answer, but you have to say, and I'll do you one better. And then you have to say something even more outlandish. For instance, question 1, and anybody can hop in, you know what I mean? Any order you want. What's the best video game studio right now? It's FromSoft. FromSoft is the best video game studio right now. Even when they make a half effort, like Elden Ring Night Rain, they somehow come out with a huge hit that people love to death, myself included. FromSoft simply does not miss, but it's not like they don't. It's like they get a headshot between the eyeballs every single time. They simply are like, they have 110% accuracy. With the games that will come out within the next 12 months, they're only going to keep executing with precision and innovation and genius tier artistry. It's FromSoft. Panel, what's the best game studio right now?
I'll do you one
one
better. That isn't going to change for the next 10 years because they're the only studio that matters.
Nice.
I was going to do From Software.
Yeah, you did it right. That's the way to play.
Yeah, that's cute. It's cute. I'm struggling because I feel like there's people putting off like incredible games, but they do feel, I don't want to say one-off, but they're so far apart from like having a conversation of releases. Like I feel like you really like ate with the FromSoft take, even though I don't necessarily agree with it in the sense that it's just not my style of game. So it's hard for me to assess like how good is FromSoft. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you what's good or bad about them because I don't know that genre. But they're in such an era right now that I feel like that's a clean pick for that reason. That's why I'm kind of struggling a little bit to think of who's sort of hitting like not a back to back, but within a small window. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like stuff's so spaced out. I can't really think of. You know what?
You're kind of acting like a milkmaid right now.
I know, but like, I'd rather have no take than a bad take, even though everyone would argue most of my takes are bad. But
it seems like you have one you want to say and you're not.
No, I thought of somebody, but I'm like, they got to be good. You know, like it can't just be like amount of stuff.
Who's the one you thought of?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know. There's like. Everything's just very, like Chat mentioned RGG. I think RGG is a nice one, but they don't have the oomph for me to want to name them, even though they are cranking out stuff like left and right.
The consistency is wild with RGG. It would be a good pick.
You know what? F it. I'll go with RGG. Shout out to the chat. I'll use that as the studio that I pick. And I think just the thing that I want to really compliment about RGG Studio is the fact that they are able to make really long, dense games where almost everything is interesting to do. I think a lot of times we're a little too apologetic over elements of games that are bad because you don't have to engage with them. Oh, the side content was bad? Why'd you play it? They never said it was good. They put it in the game, so I'm going to check it out. And I think with RGG's projects, it's one of the few where almost everything that they have in there is intriguing to engage with, but that also doesn't detract from like the main campaign either. Like if you beeline those games, I mean, frankly, you probably would be underleveled. So I guess that is kind of something that's sort of holding them back a little bit in terms of how they structure their games. But so much of that side stuff's fun. And I think they're one of the few studios that knows how to do a good story in a game that isn't a story game. And it also in a game that wouldn't be described as narrative driven, at least to, I don't know, a casual player's glance. And I think it shows that like there are lots of ways to do good story in games. It doesn't have to be just a narrative game. It doesn't even have to be, you know, one of the PlayStation kind of cinematic style campaigns that I described earlier. It can be something that kind of sits in the middle where like the story is this kind of big treat that you get like interstitched between the main gameplay, which is also like fun in its own right.
And I'll do you one better. The way that RGG reuses their cities, their locations, other studios could take a damn note from for sure. That's so much in the back end, so much extra development time to make a whole new city, which is cool. But when you reuse the same one, you have so much time to do other things, fill it with all this unique different stuff. And it's a benefit that you have this sense of going home, this sense of like, I love playing in this place across different entries. It feels so obvious when you see them do it so well that it makes FromSoft look like a pile of crap.
Okay, now.
Wow.
I mean, let me get this off my chest. FromSoft also has a lot of asset reuse that they're known for. They're very,
you mean
like
Night Rain, the game that everyone was disappointed by?
Right.
The game that
They
people
were disappointed initially, but now we all love Night Rain.
It's just
I got another
Do you
question.
like it, or is it Stockholm syndrome? I'm just asking.
There's
like
this-
I'm
the
not
second
implying anything.
There's a hashtag on the screen I'm really trying to get people to use. If we could go ahead and get this hashtag trending.
Go ahead and get that hashtag moving. I got another question for the panel. Good luck with this one. What is the coolest free-to-play game?
Ooh,
Right now,
coolest.
what is the coolest?
Uma Musume.
Oh,
You're racing horses, but they're little anime girls, and everybody apparently loves that on the internet. And I heard the free to play is not that bad. I've heard from multiple people that they actually like playing it, not just because it's anime girls, and that you can actually play it without spending money on it, which is the hallmark of any good/doomed free to play game. So,
Can I be honest with you though, Jeff? It's pretty clear to me you have no interest in this game.
yeah.
That's how we know it's cool. That none of us are interested.
So,
Because that's the thing. You asked the coolest, not the best. The coolest.
Yeah, it's the coolest.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm cool, Kyle.
It's the big.
Everybody
trendy
knows
game.
I'm not cool.
It's the Bagoo Labubu of games. It's like you're either
Whoa.
in it or you're not. And if you're not in it, you better know about it. Because if not, you seem out of touch. So boom, back in that take.
Wow.
I think coolest is in the heart. It's not all about what the general
Coolest
consensus
in the
is.
heart.
That's nice.
Precisely.
That's a good take.
And I gotta go to bat for my boy, the finals here. It
Finals?
continuously has the best cosmetics that you can put on in the most interesting ways. Every different body part, every glove, feet. glasses, these specific things beyond just like Fortnite one skin for the whole thing. They're really cool cosmetics. They're in a consistent kind of futuristic urban streetwear style, and they haven't done any annoying crossovers that have, such as that have turned Siege into a total joke to look at, where Rick from Rick and Morty is fighting Homelander.
I got a tiny question on top of this one. Okay, so Finals has their AI announcer, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and I
1
think
year
AI
from now-
rocks. Sorry. Continue.
Whoa. Well, that's my question. Like, do you think 1 year from now that's going to be like there's lots of AI announcers, or do you think 1 year from now that'll still be a standout thing where it's like, oh yeah, Finals is the one with the AI announcer?
Good question. It is the first thing that is brought up when the Finals is mentioned most often.
It's the first thing I thought of, yeah.
And I do not like that about it. And that keeps it from being truly cool, I think, in the public eye, in the Uma Musume way.
Yeah.
Ooh, isn't this like a tech bro game by extension due to its AI
It's a tech
association?
program. Yeah.
Yeah, Silicon Valley loves it.
It does have bold new tech that you haven't seen before. That is impressive. So it's further from Silicon Valley in that way.
Outside of the gamery of this program, I actually am curious, like, do we think that'll become more regular, or do we think that's an isolated Finals thing?
Hard to tell how much seeing the Finals get the feedback it has will put people off of it. Put developers off of it. Because you got to imagine it's appealingly easy from a developer perspective. We can just do that? But it also causes a lot of ire.
Talking time capsule thing, right? The Alters got a ton of heat for having like 2 in-game assets that used AI to like fill in text, right?
Yeah.
And
So,
also
like,
the
just
translation for one of their part of their localization for one specific like side thing was also done through AI.
So
before
like
they
where we're at
swapped it.
right now, July 2025, is like you do get backlash when you're using it for instances like that. And I wonder where we'll be July 2026, you know?
Yeah.
Every game will be using it, but they'll still be trying to hide it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Probably a good take.
like, and this isn't even, again, a lot of these are not hot. It's funny because people think of me as like the queen of hot takes, but really I just have opinions that I say without couching them in a million things because I know people will get mad, kind of thing. And if you don't do that, it's a hot take.
You're couching right now.
Good catch.
Wow.
AI is inherently like I don't like AI. I don't like generative AI. Besides the environmental issues with it, I just don't like the idea of the sort of. I'd rather have like a human make that kind of stuff in general. But it is very obvious, like just knowing how tech works, how dev works. Inherently, there's some generative AI in probably every game that we're playing, just because in the code base, there's probably somebody somewhere who has Copilot open and is using it, and like that's just probably a fact. That being said, like I think a lot of other like players, given like the Alters response, are against like front-facing, like user-facing AI implementation, things like art, things like the Finals voice thing would be an element of it, and other aspects as well. We already know that like Steam has like that disclosure as well for like AI content, but again, that's something that they have to opt in to disclose. I think we will generally, my prediction is that we're going to continue to see pushback in the AI space. I don't think it's going to necessarily be normalized. I think we might see more instances of it, but I don't think that it'll be normalized because I do think there's a lot of pushback from players. And I also think there is pushback from developers in the sense of like job cuts. We saw that with what is the game, Facebook, the Gems the match puzzle game. I'm blanking on the name of it.
Bejeweled?
Bejeweled had layoffs actually recently from like they basically devs worked to like make this AI tool and then they like cut Candy Crush. Sorry, not Weirder. Candy Crush it was. Had layoffs, and I think that's my prediction. My hope is that we don't have to go to a dark place before we get to a lighter place, because my fear is that we'll see a few more of those instances happen and then maybe start to see like pushback from the developer space. But I think with the struggles to unionize, I don't know how well that'll all go. But yeah, that's my take on it.
And to be clear, the cool new tech in the Finals is the destruction stuff, and I was trying to ignore the AI stuff because to make my take better and clear.
To be clear, you were trying to ignore it.
Yeah, to make a nice clippable hot take.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like we kind of left the game showiness of this for a moment. I like that. But let's get back to it. All right, this is like a two-parter. This will be like a two-parter. Just be prepared. There's another side of this one. But here's the first question. What currently released game, what game out there right now, is going to age the best in 1 year? What's a game that people aren't paying enough attention to? In 1 year, it's going to be a classic. Everyone's going to pretend they already knew about that game. You know, what game is its reputation will only grow in the next 12
It's Donkey
months?
Kong Bonanza. It's Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's going to become the masterpiece. And we're going to look back and say, some naive jerks out there were saying that it's like jingling keys in front of a baby, but
They couldn't find the
actually
egg?
it puts From Software to shame is where they're going to go with it.
I gotta get one off my chest. Donkey Kong Bonanza is already considered a masterpiece. I think this whole like, oh my god, there's like the Bonanza. Like whenever you have, I mean, it has so many tens. It's like a 92 or 96 on Metacritic. Like it is obscenely loved, and I don't think that means anything in any direction, right? I think if you think the game's great, you should praise it and talk about why you think it's special. I think if you think the game is lacking, you should talk about why that is. I think sometimes there'll be like a couple people who have like a negative opinion or a critical opinion on something, and then it's like, oh my god, this game's under fire, it's under this is like, we're gonna have, if anything, I think we're gonna have the opposite, because that's usually what you see. Like generally speaking, stuff doesn't go high and then get higher. I think if anything, Bonanza falls a bit from its placement. If I had to guess, I think it's gonna stay about the same, because I feel like the people that love it. And I think if there was going to be more pushback, we would have seen more of those conversations happening already, and we haven't, minus like a handful of takes, myself included in that. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna, now we suddenly appreciate it. I think people who appreciate it, and people who don't, they don't.
No,
to defend my hot take, Janet, I have not looked at any reviews, and I was just going off the four of us right here, and really just trying to pander to the judge, Bosman.
No, I'm gonna hop on that. I'll do Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I'll do you one better. So, Janet, I'm with you. I actually think the reputation of the game is really high right now. It will only grow in 1 year. I think people are going to miss aspects of Donkey Kong Bonanza when they're reviewing games a year from now. Whether it's like in the text or not, right? People are going to miss the freedom the game gives you. They're going to miss the action the game gives you. Punches won't feel as good in other games for the next 12 months after someone has played Donkey Kong Bonanza, and they're going to wonder why.
They're going to say GTA 6 is good, but I can't punch through the ground to get to bananas.
Exactly, yeah.
So.
Right on.
What game is gonna age? What's the question? What game is gonna be like appreciated more later?
Yeah, what's gonna age the best in 1 year?
I mean, I will say the altars. Not to get on AI stuff again.
Yeah, you are kind of like Leo Vader AI lover.
But we think about a big moment. I hate AI. We think about a big moment wearing off over time. A big moment of hating a game wearing off, us getting a better appreciation for it. I think the altars AI scandal, where it didn't disclose the AI it had, was bad. I think a year from now it won't feel as bad, and we'll be able to talk more about the writing and things.
Okay.
I think a year from now, this is just off the dome, I'm going to say Split Fiction. And I'm saying that because I feel like when I first played Split Fiction, I was like, yeah, this is really fun. Story sucks. Cool. And then game came out, very positively received. And I kind of felt like, that's not, it's, you know, are we being almost like too congratulatory of Split Fiction? But the more time that I've gotten away from Split Fiction, the more my opinion of it has risen because of how brilliant the game design is. Again, not to make this like the Bonanza cast, but I think about like how good that Donkey Kong level was they did. That kind of like inspiration of kind of like altering the level. Like I think there was a lot of creativity. I think the other day someone, I forgot if it was on MinnMax, like writing question write-ins or whatever, someone had asked somewhere, what are some of the best like bosses? And I know Split Fiction is kind of like a debatable 3D platformer, but the question was best bosses in 3D platforming. And some of those bosses are the best bosses I've ever faced in a 3D platformer or in like a game experience. Again, with the side content complement and the importance of having that. Like Split Fiction really had that in there as well. Like they were the only parts of the narrative that really did shine were where they went to those side areas and you got to like play the stories the girls wrote as a kid. It's like, yes, this is where the juice is. This is where Hazelight actually can execute narrative and weave it within gameplay. And I think as far as Freedom Bosman, I think people were also really thinking of Split Fiction in that is being this adventure game that isn't riddled with collectibles. Again, I don't think anything is wrong with collectibles, but I think the importance of design is like the right tool for the right job. And it feels like with Split Fiction, they really had the answer to that across the board, minus like some of the narrative shortcomings. But I think as time goes on, people will be like, you know what, we actually didn't talk about enough? Split Fiction. Especially with this year being so packed with like Clair Obscur and Bonanza and all these other like, I think sexier picks that are more obvious. Yeah. Split Fiction, I think, is going to only kind of, I wouldn't say raise like a whole bunch, but I think it's going to go up within a year.
That's a good one. All right, inverse. What currently released game is going to age the worst in 1 year? What is overrated? What do people love right now that you're fairly certain will fall off in 1 year?
Death Stranding 2.
Ooh.
Because 90% of people aren't going to finish it, and they're just going to nod and say, yeah, that was cool. And just pretend that they finished it like cool people who like Hideo Kojima. And Hideo Kojima is going to come out and he's going to say something absurd, and then everybody's going to turn on him too. And then it won't be cool to pretend to like it anymore.
Cancellation in 2026, Jeff.
I'm calling it. Mark it down.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna come out as like pro AI or something.
Yes.
That's a joke. I don't think that's gonna happen. I hope not. That's a great pick.
I'll do you one worse. Death Stranding 2's giving people transformative experiences where they connect with their other humans, and that doesn't just fade away.
Oh, so you disagree? That was basically one off your chest. Got you. Yeah. Okay. But you can't think of an overrated game right now.
That doesn't answer the question, though.
I mean, well, the question wasn't, is it overrated? It's what do you think will fall from the grace that it currently has? Because I think plenty of overrated stuff is still loved. So that's why I'm not bringing Bonanza to the table. Like, I think I think everyone's decided where they're at, and I don't think people are shifting. So the question is, where is a part where I think people could shift?
All right. I'm going to say
Split Fiction works for this too, which is so funny.
It kind of does.
It works for both. We got them coming and going with Split Fiction. You know what? Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World. I think that'll be one that kind of falls from grace a little bit. I know haters will say it's just because people are slightly older and busier now. I know a lot of people have talked about Mario Kart maybe being, even on the show, like MinnMax proper, a game that maybe you kind of got to be in the mood for. You got to get the right group of people, whatever. I think Mario Kart World, of course, has incredible tracks, and I think the racing is really good, but I think there's a lot of unsatisfactory pitches from Mario Kart World. World is another game that's plagued by no one ever said it'd be good. Like, people were talking about that open world saying, Nintendo never said that open world would be good. I'm sorry, if you make something in your game, I assume it will be somewhat interesting to engage with, especially a Nintendo game, especially a company that, they made the greatest open world game of all time with Breath of the Wild. And this is not saying I thought World would be Breath of the Wild, but this is not baby's first game design. I expect good game design from Nintendo. Sue me. I don't think that's that wild of a take. And I think it was lacking there. I think also the battle modes are also really lacking. And I know the battle mode is never the most popular situation in Mario Kart anyway, but it's missing. It has only like, I forget how many, 2 or 3, but it has less than like what we had in 8 Deluxe. I know people say, well, 8 Deluxe, it had existed for like 22 years or whatever. Why are we not taking the lessons and carrying them through? There's no need to Pokemonify the series where it's like, that's kind of a bit of Pokemon, right? Like, they have some good ideas and they're like, now we're starting over. And I'm like, why can't we like build in a way that grows into something that's an amalgamation of all the knowledge you gained before? And Mario Kart World kind of fell victim to that. I also think another beef with Mario Kart World that I think people will be more critical of as time goes on is also a little bit of like its lack of identity. I think its big thing was the world thing, and that's also why people are so critical of that open world being really mid. Because like, it's Mario Kart World, it's supposed to be fun. Like, that's the whole point, like the open world or the connected layer. Does anyone really like driving between those courses? I know I don't really like driving. I don't like the whole big interconnected track personally. So I think we're all going to realize how good is this in relation to other ones, and was it kind of the wild hit? I know when, I was a big 8 Deluxe person, I bought 8 times because I had a Wii U. But now this came and I was like, this didn't really light my world on fire in the way I thought it would. And I think people came out the gate, they were excited. Oh my God, it's Mario Kart Switch 2 is here. The scores were really, really high. And I feel like the feelings don't match where the scores are. And that's why I think people are going to drop down.
You made me think of mine. I think a game that's absolutely going to lose steam in the next 12 months is Pokemon TCG Pocket. That's the mobile game where you open up booster packs and you can like battle, and like they have a new set coming out every month and a half. I can't see this being sustainable for them. I think the enthusiasm is waning every week. Wow, that game hit when it first launched, and it was like a big launch for them. I think in 12 months, it's probably pretty much wrapped up.
Good answers.
I feel that now even.
Yeah. Leo's got no answer.
I'm the type of person who, when you ask me to name a specific game, I have to Google video games 2025
What'd you get then?
It's hard
What do you
to
got?
summon stuff.
Pick one and say it's
I have
it's
that pulled
overrated.
up right now too, Leo.
I also have the Game Informer release calendar opened in a tab. I was like, who am I looking at here?
Despalote, people are gonna
Oh, bro.
say actually I didn't like that.
Spicy
I'm trying
take.
it. No, really.
Tell me more.
Honestly, no. Blueprints is the one on this list that I think most likely.
Ooh, that's such a good
also-
pick.
Honestly, yeah.
Thank you.
I feel some of that already a little bit, Leo.
It happened to me in real time, and I think that game
That's
creates a
nasty.
super strong
It
first
happened to a
impression.
friend of mine, which is crazy. It was also you.
That's so wild. But as you're not in it anymore, I think you appreciate your experience with it more than you do the game, and that's going to be varying levels of meaningful for different people.
Wow, that's a good.
Yeah. I think
That's spicy.
what was the phrase using? Doubling down on that? Back whatever, like joining onto that take.
I'll do
I
you
think
one better.
I'll do one better.
I'll do you one better. It's gonna, especially for end of the year conversations, even it's gonna spur a big conversation on I forget the word for it mechanically, but the RNG. The big discussion around that game is gonna be RNG, and I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it comes out a little bit unfavorably on that side. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people necessarily defending the RNG, despite the importance of it in terms of creating like a real flow to the game. Yeah, it's hard to defend, I think, getting like kind of stonewalled by the RNG in that game at a certain point.
It's time for round 3. Head to head. Who wants to play?
Sure.
Okay, Jeffem, choose your challenger amongst the three of us. Who's your
Oh.
challenger?
Leo.
Okay.
Afraid
I'm
to
the
look in the mirror,
weakest.
huh, Jeffem?
I'm the
All right.
weakest.
So there's
Janet
going to
would
be 2
annihilate
questions. Leo,
Yes,
you get to
she would.
choose which question you want to answer here, okay?
Okay.
What is the most beautiful piece of hardware you can buy right now, or what is the ugliest piece of hardware you can buy right now? Which one do you want to answer?
Ooh.
Jeffem will have to answer the other one.
I'll choose ugliest then.
Okay. So, Leo, what is the ugliest piece of hardware you can buy right now?
It's got to be the PlayStation 5, and it's not
Oh!
close.
Oh, shit.
I've had to move that thing back and forth between my TVs because of my gaming experience playing Death Stranding, and it's really made me confront there's nowhere you can put that thing where it looks nice. It's always a blight on your home, the shape of that thing.
Wow.
Do you have to muck about with the stupid little stand underneath too, Leo?
I don't have the stand.
That
Or I
always
lost it.
falls off.
You lost it?
I
it's
have
weird.
it because
Switch
I want
units, Leo.
to. I want to put my console sideways like a normal human being,
gotta
and
pay
so you
for
got to
that.
slide that thing under, and it doesn't stay there. It's like I think it's made to slip right off of it, and it's very stupid. So you win.
No,
The
no,
nicest
no, no,
piece-
no. That's not how head-to-head works. You're challenging him.
Yes, I know.
Wait, also, do I just have to leave them alone on this? Can I say anything on this? Can I get one off my
Oh, yeah,
chest? is what
remember,
I'm
you can
asking?
interrupt at any point and say, let me
Okay,
get one off my
get?
chest.
I gotta get one off my chest.
Sure.
The PS5 is the only modern console where it can be pink, and I think that's beautiful. I think that makes it worth
Oh,
it
that's
for
a good
me
take.
because you can get the faceplates, and I know
Yeah.
that's probably I forget what I think they are sunsetting the faceplate thing, or I forgot what's going on with that. I know they had the different models of like the
Yeah,
PS5 Pro Deluxe or whatever. But when when I could get an all pink console in the modern era, that's dope. Chat, do not tell me I can spray paint my Series X. I'm not going to, and you know I'm not going to. So you're silly to recommend it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say
Jeffin,
for the girlies.
the most beautiful piece of hardware you can buy right now?
Hot take: there isn't one. It's all trash. Nothing looks sexy.
Bold play.
Nothing
What was
looks
the-
sexy.
What was the last sexy piece of hardware?
Last sexy piece of hardware.
Yeah. The last time you saw an image of it,
okay,
you're like,
it's
oh,
crying.
wow.
No, I'm changing my answer. It's not all
Okay.
trash. I'm gonna say the sexiest piece of hardware is the Playdate.
Ooh,
Final answer.
unconventional
Nice
choice.
little. It doesn't feel great. I agree with Janet, but it looks like a nice little compact, unique thing. That little
Crank.
spinning twirl crank.
Inherently a sexual
You
word.
gotta have more cranks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're cranking it. It's spinning for you. There's a lot going on with the Playdate.
If
Quite
you
an
had a
erotic system.
table,
Yeah.
if you had a table lined up with all modern consoles and modern handhelds, brought people off the street, and said, "Go ahead, look at them," that's the one people would pick up, and they twirl that thing, and they think it looks cool. I feel like I'll do you one better. I'll do myself one better. I feel like the Playdate is the only one that has been designed with aesthetic in mind. Of like, hey,
that's crazy.
How do we make this look fun and interesting, and like actually prioritize that above other?
You think the PlayStation 5 designers weren't thinking design first and foremost?
Well, but they did a bad job. Okay.
Well,
It was
I'll do
designed
you one
that way
better.
and succeeded at what they were trying to do.
I'll do you one
enough.
better on top of that because I came to tear down the Playdate and I came to build it back up, baby. I agree with you.
Okay.
Aesthetics are great. And it has some of the best first party peripheral stuff. I know what you're thinking. They don't really have that much stuff. The speaker thing didn't work out. They sold this case. May I present to you, if my camera will focus on it, it's a little pizza box. It says delicious hot square. You order them, we crank them out. www.playdate.pizza is the URL there. This is official. This is not an Etsy thing. This is not a fan made thing, even though shout out to the fans because they be making like the best stuff. And that's kind of the beef. Everyone always says like, why is like first party stuff like never interesting or good? And this idea came from like someone in the office was like, this seems like it'd be dumb and funny. And they're like, yeah, let's make it. And then they did that.
Oh, that's a nice case.
And I bought it.
And
And I bought,
Yeah, it's
even
like
though I
an
don't play
iPad
it, I
case, the
bought
way it
this
flops
because
open.
I
Yeah,
like
cool.
the aesthetic of it. Like
Okay.
that's half handheld is half aesthetic is half the battle, and Playdate won that half.
You really just boosted Jeffem's answer. I actually respect Playdate a little more after seeing that case. Janet, you get to pick. Okay. You have your choice between who puts on the least boring gaming showcases and who puts on the most boring gaming showcases. Your pick.
Ooh, the least boring and most boring. Okay. Oh, man, I feel like most boring. You got to go really deep cut. Least boring. I'll go least boring for my pick.
Okay, go ahead.
Least boring. I'm gonna go Nintendo. You know that little snap that they came up with. Again, I know they're kind of resting on their laurels a little bit, but they literally invented the format. And a Nintendo Direct is always exciting. And I think more times than not, I leave a Direct with something interesting. I think they also did a really good job getting ahead formatting wise on having like the Nintendo Direct versus like they don't call it Nindies anymore, but like the Nintendo Indie Spotlight. And also when they do the Indie Spotlight, because I know a lot of people will say, oh, that's not the big show or whatever. And it's true, they're smaller titles, they're indie. I feel like they're actually like showing me indie games, like indie games that some of them I haven't heard of. And as someone that's more tuned into the indie space than I think a lot of other like people, that's nice. Or a game I have heard of, I'm like, oh great, I can tell they have an eye for it, and I feel that in how they do it. While like a lot of times, PlayStation or Xbox, kind of like of the other big three, when they have like one or two flagship indies that they're like, we decided we're like connecting with these, and they're usually like kind of bigger name, bigger budget ones where it's like, okay, you got an indie thing, and it's like it's Silksong. It's like, okay, well that's like, that's kind of the obvious answer. And I feel like whether it's going for like the big hits or the deep cuts, it's always Nintendo.
Good answer.
Hard to refute that. I'm in a precarious position talking about the most boring gaming showcases. Just professionally.
You want one of us to we can tag team it, because I think there's a lot of different ideas that can come up. Mind you, Kyle, you wrote these questions.
Yeah, I didn't think I would end up with most boring gaming showcases. That wasn't my plan.
It's funny how that worked out, huh?
Yeah.
All right, what the most boring gaming showcases? I think that it's going to be the most boring gaming showcases is going to be Final Fantasy 14. They're just a total snooze. What a bore. Okay, round 4. True or false? Round 4 works like round 1, okay? Where like it's everybody gets one question. You'll choose A, B, C, or D. You'll have to just respond to this true or false and defend it. Who wants to go first?
Sure.
Okay. A, B, C, or D, Jeff?
B.
True or false? Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to change everything.
False.
Oh. Why?
And I have to defend that now?
Yeah, of course you do.
I think it will be as much of a technological leap as all of Rockstar's main GTA games. I think it's going to be another watershed moment, but I don't think it's going to change what anybody else is doing because they're all already trying to do what GTA does as good as it does, and none of them come close. So what's the takeaway for the industry that's going to like lead the industry in a new direction, like make really good big open world games? Like they're all already trying to do that.
Let me get one off my chest, and rather get two
please.
off my chest. 2 letters.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
RP. Role-playing, my friend.
Role-play. Okay.
GTA 5 RP changed everything, I would say. Online content. So many careers have been made from GTA RP. And now that they're bringing that into the fold, acknowledging it as part of the GTA experience for people, there's going to be something very RP focused in the online mode in that game, and it is going to affect what games get greenlit.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's T.
Who wants to go next? Leo, I think you should go next. You got some momentum right now.
Yeah, I'm moving up.
A, C, or D?
D.
True or false? $80 games are an inevitability.
True. I don't think we'll ever see every game be $80, but damn, Nintendo set the precedent. Not everybody's Nintendo, but something like that is strange when it first hits, and then it gets more and more common and normal feeling, and that did not even hit that strange. Those games are doing great, Nintendo's $80 games. So I think it is absolutely inevitable within the next year. We'll have a lot of
What's
those.
crazy, I was looking back at it, it was like 2023 when games started being 70. Right? It wasn't that long ago they switched to 70, and then 80 ramped up like 3 years later. It's so crazy. But and so you think 1 year from now, most AAA games, it's just 80 is going to be regular?
Yeah, I think there's going to be like 10, 15 tentpole games a year that'll be $80.
Okay. Janet, A or C?
A.
True or false? The age of quality video game adaptations is already over.
This is interesting. Like, you mean like TV shows, movies?
Yep.
Ooh. False, because it never began to begin with. Okay,
Oh,
may I have the floor?
Sheesh.
I think the best thing that adaptations have done for us have given us the opportunity to have what book lovers have always had, the ability to snobbily say, it's better in the original medium that it was from. And I think we should take that, hang our hat on it, and let that legitimize our medium instead of turning to TV, movies, all these other things that just don't do it that well. The best we've gotten is like, it's like pretty good. Like, you know, Last of Us season 1, it's like, oh, it's okay. It's what the game was. The best time that they had in that was when they deviated from the story. And I'm like, oh, they're doing something really interesting here. Billstown, this is so good. And then they're like, okay, here's the rest of the game. And I'm like, well, and it also sounds good as the game. Oh, okay. Well, what are we really doing here? I think people want it really badly. Yeah, Arcane, you know, in the chat as like a maybe, you know, sort of outlier.
Arcane's
but I think
wrapped,
that's the
though, right?
outlier. It's not the standard. I'm not sure what's up with Arcane actually offhand. But yeah, like I don't think we've ever really gotten there. And I think people have been telling me we're there for like 10, 15 years. And like, we're not. That Mario movie, that shit wasn't good.
A classic,
What
it
are we
was
talking
never
about
supposed
here?
to be good.
What
The Mario
are we
movie.
talking about here? And don't tell me, oh, my son liked it. I don't care. Your son has bad taste. I don't know what to tell you. Kids, I don't look
liked
to
it.
children for the arbiters of taste. And sometimes I don't look to Bosman. I don't know.
Mario
I don't know.
movies.
Other
It's
times,
a movie about
Other
You're
times
just
we're like
watching-
this. We're locked in.
You're watching fun things happen throughout an hour and a half. That's what the Mario movie is. You're just watching fun things. Why would you say that's a bad movie?
John Wick is watching fun things happen, and even that's not overrated.
Okay, well, I'll show my 4-year-old John Wick then, Janet.
Johnny Wick, Johnny
Never
Jr.
really-
All right, that leaves me with C. True or false? There can't be a hornier mainstream game than Marvel Rivals.
Ooh.
And I'll say true. I think within the next 12 months, there's actually nothing that surpasses the mainstream horniness of Marvel Rivals. I feel like maybe in years beyond, but I feel like people can't respond that fast. I feel like it's a surprise horny success that, you know, the competitors they don't have the flexibility to react to. That's my guess. No, Marvel Rivals is more I'm saying it's more mainstream than Zenless Zone Zero. You could say Zenless Zone Zero is like higher on the charts.
Yeah.
I feel like we're talking mainstreaminess in terms of like broad appeal outside of like people on their cell phones, you know?
Yeah, like casual social zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like the flagship, you know, what I've seen referred to it on TikTok is the Gooner game is what people call Marvel Rivals because of how sexy
Right.
the skins are. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone's getting that title.
I was trying to get it going for the finals, but it didn't pick up steam. Just trying to get some buzz going.
Get some sex appeal going, yeah, in the finals.
Yeah.
So did I just, okay, no objections?
No.
We're all done then. That's our last question of the program. It is now up to the live audience to determine, let's do sommelier first. Amongst the 4 panelists, who do you believe was the sommelier? Who here had the takes that will age the best? And I hope you realize, live chat, this is you putting your reputation on the line. This is your chance to have a good or bad take that ages well or poorly when you choose who is the sommelier.
Do we want to do that just casually through chat response, or do you want me to put a poll for that?
Oh, put up a Twitch poll. You can do that?
Yeah. Hmm?
Yeah.
While
Let's do a
I'm
Twitch
writing
poll.
that up,
Yeah.
we got a video redemption for, can we get a review of Welcome Tour? Obviously, this is kind of Jeffem's wheelhouse, but I think anyone could take that while I make this poll.
Yeah, I've done that 100 times. Does anyone else want to?
No, let me ask you this, Jeffem. A year from now, will people even remember will it be a thing people still bring up a year from now?
They'll still complain about it. Yeah, I'll still
You
be
think so?
complaining about it. A year from now, when we play
Yeah.
this clip back, I'm gonna get upset by it, and I'm still gonna yell. And Hanson's gonna be like, "I don't know why everybody's hating on it. It wasn't that bad. Just don't play the games."
What about Dragon Drive? I feel like it's between that one and Welcome Tour. Which one's gonna be like the Switch 2 joke game? And I think Dragon Drive will take the crown.
I don't think
don't
anyone
know
will
what
really
Dragon
drag
Drive
Dragon
is.
Drive because the fact that it looks like the users are in wheelchairs, even though Nintendo has gone on record saying they're not wheelchairs, they're vehicles, which also, like, that's weird, you Nintendo. You're kind of weird for that. I don't know
was
why
weird,
you
yeah.
think it's bad to... You made a wheelchair basketball game and said that, but they're not wheelchairs.
Very
It's
weird.
really important that you know this isn't an inclusive thing. This is just about, we think the chair is cool, which I feel like is the worst position you can take on that.
Yeah.
I think we haven't... I know we've talked about that a little bit. I don't think we've talked about it enough still, because I think that's super, super strange.
And it
The
comes
poll's
out
up. I said it for 3
next
minutes,
month.
but you can call it earlier if you so choose, if you see it going one way or the other. But people to check
3 minutes is so long
cast their
for
vote.
everybody to make their
It
choice.
is really long.
Oh, I see why you want to call it. No. Let's give it some more time. There's
no, I'm not
one
saying
vote
that.
for
This is
Kyle
what I-
right now.
I'm just saying that, like,
Some of those
I
more
usually
fill
set
in.
it. I usually set it for 3. I know 3 is a little long, but it kind of, gives me, they have to refresh, but like you don't, if you see it going one way with a minute left, you could.
There
call
we
it
go.
3.
Let's see a few more Kyle votes. Let's get him in. You got time. I think I had some really good takes throughout this thing.
Have we gotten your Welcome Tour review this month, Kyle?
No, I mean, I hated it. I definitely hated it, but it was a fun stream. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's entertaining to go through this, but
Yeah,
it would
Hanson
not be
tried
entertaining to
that
do it
crap
alone.
too. He legitimately tried that as like, well, we were laughing and we were people were watching and there was emotion around the table, It's like, yeah, it was hatred though, and it was shock and confusion as to how Nintendo put out this bad thing.
I also don't give it many points for that, but truly undeniable how much more fun the Welcome to Her half of that stream was than the Mario Kart half.
Did you do wow, that is surprising actually. Did you do the face game where you got to like match the face of like it gives you an expression and it's like match the expression?
No, I don't
think we got that.
It's
far.
the one game
we
you
were
play
locked
with the
up.
camera, and it's actually so fun. I actually really like that game.
Nice.
Did you guys have the camera to use for that?
I bought a little, the cheapest one on Amazon, USB-C camera, and it worked.
Nice.
I've seen enough. I think we can call it. This live audience has determined by a wide margin that Janet is the sommelier. And I did get 8 votes at least. Yeah, I'm tied with Leo right now, who spent this whole time talking about how AI is not that bad. Can't believe that. All right.
I'll stop the next one in like a couple seconds.
Yeah, the next vote will be, and Janet, you're free from this one. You don't even have to be on this poll because you're the sommelier. The live audience will now vote on who is the milkmaid, who presented the takes that will absolutely age the worst. In 1 year, they will be embarrassed about what they said in this video. That's the next
duration.
vote.
You want 2 minutes or 1 minute?
Let's do 1 minute. Let's do 1 minute.
Okay.
I don't.
All right, y'all look alive.
It'll be me. I think I got no votes because people just don't know which one I am. So I'm gonna hope that keeps riding here.
Wait, what do you mean they don't know who you are? What are you talking about?
I'm just trying to justify in my mind in a way that preserves my ego why I would get so few votes for having the best takes. And I think they are getting me and Janet mixed up.
That happens a lot. You know.
Yeah.
We look really similar.
Okay.
All right, early voting, Leo, it seems like they do remember which one you are.
Okay, I might have given it
Just
away.
early returns.
Maybe they're just thinking of you because you were the last one to talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish I could come up with like a really boring showcase that I was also not involved with, and I saw some suggestions in chat. I didn't want to steal them, but they're right. Final Fantasy XIV is like, here's the thing. It's, like Tennokan is boring as dirt, but if you love Warframe, it's the most exciting thing in the world. You know what I mean? And so it's got to be like one of the broad ones that's going for a wide audience and failing to please that audience.
Sure.
I messed that up.
We have a milkmaid.
Looks like it's Leo with 52%. Okay.
Prove them wrong. Though. That's the thing. Leo, we could come back a year from now.
I threw a Kyle vote in at last second just to try to make it a little easier. I'm not even kidding. I was like,
rigging.
What? I can't rock the vote.
Appreciate it.
God forbid someone wants to rock the vote in America. Okay, maybe we could all use a little bit of democracy in here. Okay.
Wow.
That's my hot take. Bring back democracy.
I should have made it clear panelists can't
vote.
vote. That's not right.
We are intending to come back in 1 year. We're sealing these takes up, and in 1 year we'll see who the milkmaid was. Mark my words.
And new show plus all that, right?
Yep. New show plus.
Here's the thing.
For sure.
The idea of new show plus is like you're voting for a running show. I just want to make it clear, I won't do this next week. I won't be here to do this again. Hanson will have to come up with all the questions if this one gets recurring.
Right. But
can you imagine making a time capsule every week?
Yeah.
I'll be here regardless.
Okay.
That's right. Or we'll start a new show with a whole new cast.
Sure.
Whatever people
Heck yeah.
vote for at the Backstage Pass tier on patreon.com/MinnMax with 2 N's. You're on one more precious thing before the end, right? You were just hosted the mystery art competition.
Festival, of course.
Festival showcase.
There was no competition. It was all love.
Everyone won. That's
Okay,
up on
yeah,
YouTube
everyone
now.
did win. Yeah, sure.
And then
one more podcast, but then also one secret video.
oh, great.
Yeah.
It's a secret.
It's I think Hanson doesn't even want, like he said travelogue. I'm allowed to say it was a secret travelogue.
Yeah, that's
Will
very
be posted
exciting.
later this week.
Almost forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you next time.
If you've enjoyed MinnMax's content lately and want to get a Steam code for Luminous Remastered, you can support MinnMax on Patreon at any tier, even that $2 tier, before August 4th. We'll DM you on Patreon with a Steam code for Luminous Remastered, and this is all in preparation for Luminous Arise, coming out later this year, which you can wishlist on Steam or PS5. Rekindle your Luminous skills, directly support independent games and media, and get ready for the next game from the creators of Tetris Effect. Thanks so much, everybody.